Students, as I told you in the previous lesson that we are supposed to continue with the summary of the chapter again. So here we are. Let's continue with the summary and discussion of the chapter A Long Walk to Freedom, written by Dr. Nelson Mandela, who was the first black president of independent South Africa. So we left the chapter here in the previous lesson, where he says that it was an emotional time for all the people who fought for this freedom, and it was going to take them a lot of time, a considerable time, to recover from the wound, from the hurt that they had received at the hands of the colonizers for so long. So let's continue now. He says that the previous rulers were discriminatory. The rulers who ruled before them, they discriminated on the basis of caste, creed, and even skin color. Now he says that who are given the opportunity to rule now, means African National Congress, ANC stands for African National Congress, would stand up against discrimination. So his first motive was to end this discrimination. He was glad to host a ceremony with the presence of global leaders, and it was an achievement in itself. There was a time when South Africa, for practicing apartheid, lost all its international political relationships. Now, when there is no segregation on the basis of race and gender, other nations are happy to have healthy democratic relationships. So they have come to power and they pledge to make everyone proud. He thanked everyone, especially the international leaders, for joining them in celebrating their achievement. So this is the question I was telling you in the previous lesson. We may expect that why the international leaders had gathered there. This was the reason, because now they wanted to show their support to the Africa, to the newly liberated Africa, South Africa. Then he continues and he gives a very beautiful explanation. He said that he learned that courage, it did not mean the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome fear. So this would make answer to one of the questions: what did courage mean to Nelson Mandela? When we are reading the chapter side by side, we need to be very careful what we are reading and understanding, because later on these only are going to frame the answers for us. Now he says that no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. This is what ultimately we all human beings should learn and understand, that nobody is superior, nobody is inferior, we are all born equal. So he says that people must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. He says, if since the very beginning of a life, somebody can be taught how to hate, then it's very simple and it is very easy, rather, how to love, to be taught how to love, because he thinks that love is such an emotion, such a feeling that comes more naturally to human heart. Even in the grimmest times, the serious or most difficult times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards. So he shares one of the experiences when he was living in prison. So the guards, though they were South Africans, yet they had to work according to the orders they received from their white rulers. He said, though they were pushing us to limits, they were giving so many tortures or so many problems they were giving to them, yet he could see some glimmer of humanity in the eyes of the guard. Perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. But that glimmer of humanity in the eye of the guard, it gave him more courage and reassured him, and he kept going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. He said that, everybody is good. Sometimes people forget to be good. So for the time being, that can be hidden, but it can never be extinguished completely. It can never be put off completely. The author then he tells how did he stand against this system in his life. he actually did not have any plan to stand against the apartheid system early in life. He lived his childhood like any normal child in South Africa. He only had to follow the rules set up by his father or the customs of his tribe as soon as he grew up and began to learn the fact as to how people of color are treated. He decided to stand against it. He had this urge for freedom from inside. Earlier, just for himself, when he was young, he thought, what is freedom? What was his idea of freedom? He thought when you can stay out at night, that is freedom. And later on, when he grew up a little bit more, he thought having a basic life, not just for himself but for everyone, is basically freedom. So his idea of freedom kept on changing, and we need to understand how his idea of freedom changed. In Johannesburg, one of the cities in South Africa, they had to struggle for having a peaceful marriage, family, and basic amenities which everyone has access to, where law and order exist. But then he slowly saw that um, not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone. And when he understood this, that every person living in South Africa, he was denied freedom, he felt an urge, he felt a hunger, not only for his own freedom, but for the freedom of his brethren, for his tribe, for his people, and he became an active person, active member of the freedom struggle. Then he further talks about that ceremony which was going on 10th May, the swearing in ceremony. He says that when this was going on, the ceremony was followed by a spectacular display of military might. Might means military power. To celebrate the occasion in an extraordinary way, both the new as well as the old national anthem was sung together by all the blacks and white people assembled together to celebrate. This was a really a historical moment there in South Africa, because before the freedom on 10th May 1994, they were not allowed to sing the national anthem that the black people of that country actually used to sing. So there were two national anthems, and without discriminating now on the basis of skin color, Nelson Mandela, he made sure that both the national anthems were sung that day, and all the blacks and whites, they assembled there to celebrate. The historic occasion brought an end to the cruel racial discrimination prevailing in South Africa. Rights and freedom of all people were recognized regardless of the color of their skin. So this is how the people were singing their national anthem. They were very happy at that day. Then he talks about that not only the people who are suffering, but the one who is making others suffer is equally, he needs to be liberated. He also is a slave of his own cruelties. He is also a slave of his own bad mentality. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow mindedness. How beautifully he portrays this, that the one who gives pain to others is equally hurt. So people do not understand this thing, but we should understand it. And he said, I'm not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom, just as surely as I'm not free when my freedom is taken from me. So the oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. This is a very meaningful phrase that he gives, that the oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. So he talks about not only the freedom of oppressed, but the freedom of oppressor, and how the oppressor would be freed if he is freed from his biases, if he is freed from his prejudice, his hatred, he would be free. Again, he talks about twin obligation, which we have talked earlier, but since I found it quite important for you people, so I have shared it again here. Now these are some quick revision notes, one by one, almost from the whole content of the chapter. They have been picked up because they are of importance and extremely helpful to you people if you read them one by one. These are the all important points which we already have discussed in the chapter, and if you go ahead with them once again, you will find that whole of the chapter has been covered. So now this is for your own reading. Once you have stopped listening to the content and summary part of the chapter, now I would like you all to go ahead with these revision notes for your own help and reference. These are again quick revision notes, and in the next lesson we will be dealing with the question answers of this chapter. Till then, revise the chapter well and be prepared to do the question answers. And this is a very beautiful quote given by Nelson Mandela, which I hope we all should try to imbibe in our lives. He says, "I never lose, I either win or learn." So this is how this excerpt from his autobiography comes to an end. Be ready for the question answers. Thank you.